Hello, my name is Vitosh and I'm a blogger at VitoshAcademy, and today I'm gonna show you how to create a really simple new ASP.NET Core MVC project following one of the tutorials from Pro ASP.NET Core MVC 2 from the book of Appress, more specifically chapter 2. So what we should do is we go in Visual Studio 2019, File, New Project, and we open C# project type web, and we need ASP.NET Core Web Application. Then we click on Next, and we name the project, more specifically Party Invites. Location is this one. Solution, create a new solution. Yep. Then we click on Create. And on the next option, on the next screen, we do not check any authentication. We leave the advanced as it is. .NET Core is actually what we need, not the .NET framework. ASP.NET Core 2.1 is okay. Usually it's good to go with the latest one. And next we need web application model view controller. So we click on Create and we wait a bit. Now this is what we got. Pretty much we have a program startup, upsetting JSON, view model controllers, some root properties and dependencies, which are all quite okay. So yeah, what do we have in everything? In program we have the main function and some code that actually creates something, and the startup we have the roots pretty much quite well developed. Yeah. So how we are gonna start with everything? We can run pretty much F5 now, or press on IIS Express and see what is going to show up. To take a bit of time, but it would show up. The first time it always takes time somehow. Yep. I'm using two screens. So, and here we see a fully functioning application. Not as beautiful as we can make it. All the links going somewhere, pretty much. Yeah, here and there. For example, in the contact it would be this one here showing up. Yeah. And the index would be this one, the about would be this one. So example, if we write here VitoshAcademy.com, we save and we simply click F5 on the about. It would be here. This is so. Let's start with the real application. Stop this party parse, and in the controller, in the home controller CS, well, we should actually, yeah, do something with the index. This actually we have the index part. The about part would be is quite okay actually, and the view part is okay. Yeah, everything seems pretty neat. So following the tutorial, deleting this, or actually, yeah, deleting everything and starting a bit from scratch. Would be the way to go. So the only thing we have is home controller, which inherits from controller. And what are we gonna write is public string index, and then return hello VitoshAcademy. Okay, I'm changing a bit obviously the tutorial, but yeah, mainly I'm following it. So let's see how quickly it would load. I guess it would load quite quickly actually. Much more quicker than the old one I probably edited. And yeah, now I would consider writing the view after this one loads a bit quickly. So would it load? Yes, hello VitoshAcademy, great. So what is the correct way to do it? It's not exactly doing it this way, but writing public view result and then call it index and then return view MyView. Of course, the MyView should be present somewhere in the views folder. I'll just show it like this, either in home or in shared. One of these should be called MyView. And in order to build it, it's a good idea to build one. So add, new item, then going to the web, going to ASP.NET and MVC view page, or simply like razor view, or would be okay. Calling it myview.cshtml. HTML. So this time it loads quite quickly, because there is nothing so much, and this is what we write. So the layout is like this, and we need some HTML code inside. So usually the HTML code would be pre-written for us if we have done it with the MVC view page, but I haven't installed some add-ins, so I'll simply copy and paste it pretty much like this, and then format it a bit nicely. Hello world from the view, and I can call hello VitoshAcademy.com. It's not a bad web page, by the way. Not something great also, but yeah. Continuing, pretty much, let's see further. Further we need to write something to show what exactly this controller can do further. Not this, but this is our controller. So the idea of the tutorial is to write something like int hour equals datetime dot now. I'm impressed by the stars of the new Visual Studio, by the way. Good job there for making them so interesting. Viewback dot greeting equals hour less than 12. So if the hour is less than 12, then we write good morning. Else we write good afternoon. And then we return MyView. Yep, true. Of course, we should go now in the view and write something there, so it changes it a bit. So we write viewback dot greeting So it would be actually view by greeting would be this one, good morning or good afternoon. So in my view it would be view by greeting, and then VitoshAcademy.com from the view. Let's see whether something could happen. We should see good afternoon Vitosh Academy from the view. VitoshAcademy.com from the view. Would it happen or not? This is a good question. Let's hope that it would happen. I mean, it's the third time probably I'm doing this thing. It should happen. Yeah. Let's see. And then we will start with the real interesting part. Actually, the application is called party invites. So this way, it would be a party invites application. So good afternoon, VitoshAcademy.com from the view. Perfect. Yeah. So we simply put a break. And we put this. So after developing it, let's see, we have to start collecting the data. So where would our data be? Of course in the models, that's the idea of the model. So simply adding a new item, data, code, class, and naming it guest response. Okay. And I'll call it public string. Okay, what the guest has, let's say, nickname. I would not write name because I don't want to use the pre-filled options in Chrome. And nickname is really good. So some other string would be public string. Fancy male would be okay. Get set instead of email, hopefully. And then public string would be favorite animal. Well, I mean, some data that can be caught up. What else? And public bool will attend. Okay, pretty much that's all, but we want to make the bool to give the bool an option, the boolean variable here an option, to contain also nullable values. So we would write it like this. And this is all. So we have nickname, fancy male, favorite animal, and we will attend. Close all by this. So what should we do now is we should add an action method to the home controllers. We wouldn't be only with the index, we also need something called public view result RSVP form. RSVP means pretty much request s'il vous plaît, or like answer is needed from French. I guess it is from French. Yeah. And of course RSVP form needs also an rsvp.chtml file. So we go to the MyView file and we copy and paste it. And we rename the copy to what I just said, RSVP form .chtml. Yeah. What do we do there? We need to insert, of course, the model. And our model is party invites. Models guest response. Yeah, that's great. The head is okay. The body, It's also okay, changing a bit the index, RSVP form, and the body would be looking like this. This is the RSVP form dot CSHTML from, I won't write from the view, it's okay. Let's simply continue. And let's connect these forms. Let's write a button from this one to the other one. Pretty much. I'm saying pretty much, probably quite a lot, but what can I do? ASP action, and the ASP action would be to RSVP form, and it would be named RSVP form. Yep. So you would have a link from the one side, from the one form to the other one. Let's see whether something would happen, or we would already have like problems in the meantime. From we are expecting is actually two web pages. The initial one with the hello, good morning, good afternoon, VitoshAcademy, and with a small link putting it to the next form where we write something about RSVP. Yep. I would probably put some music here if I don't forget at the end. Hi, but yeah, let's see. Alright, so this is it. RSVP form, and it brings us here. Great. So far so good. We need a new view code. Actually, it's the old one. Yeah, don't need a new, but we should make it a bit better. Write it that it, make it sure that it actually works and does something. So what we need is a form which is using the ASP action RSVP form. This is something that we will declare later in the controller, and the method is post. Speaking about methods, there are two extremely important methods which we should know: post and get, and plenty of other which are also important but also used quite a lot, but yeah, not so much probably. I mean, okay, this would be not RSVP for. Okay, you see, that's the great thing. Like, the model here has brought us to this option to choose what do we want. So we don't want the name, but we want the nickname. Okay, so we write your nick. Okay, and the input would be RSVP4 nickname. Yeah, pretty good actually. Can I copy and paste this like a few times? Would it be okay? Let's see. And then change. Okay. Second thing wouldn't be email, but would be fancy mail. Hopefully my mail would not be shown, although my mail is available in plenty of places. Phone? No. Instead of phone, I said that we want favorite animal. Yeah. So for example, we are gathering some kind of data. So this is it. And at the end, we need to check it a bit. Fancy mail. Favorite animal writing here. And at the end, let's say a label asking whether we would attend, and a selection option saying yes, I will attend, and no, I will not. Option value. option value here, it would be true. Yes, I will attend. And no, I will not come. Yeah, and let's continue further. What we need at last is the submit button. Button type submit. Great. And we'll go with submit RSVP. So whenever we submit the RSVP, we would be looking for a post action of the RSVP form in the controller. So in order to look for this post action of the RSVP in the controller, we should pretty much build it. Yeah. So going to the home controller and writing public view result RSVP form, and we need guest response given as a parameter, and then we return the view. Okay, I said that this would be our post. Yeah. And we need a get as well. What are we going to do with the get? Actually, the get is going to give us the RSVP view. It's probably better to be shown than explained, although explanation is always a good thing. Yeah, let's see. So if we press Ctrl and dot here, it's interesting things happening. RSVP form type home controller already defines a member called RSVP form with the same parameter types. True, it does. I mean, this one is actually the same with this one. I mean, I just wrote it twice. And what about the view here? And the view is a method, don't forget the parentheses, and this is something that probably Visual Studio could have told me. And we continue to our application in order to see what's happening. So we need a new class in the models folder, and it will be called model binding actually, or repository, and in it we would have the model binding. So in the repository we are going to save all the results in a static list, and let's see how it would stay. So the idea of the status list is to keep all the results after we have started the application. This is actually not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is with a database, but this is a simple one, so we would be okay with this. So we only have get return responses. So this would be whenever we say responses, it would be returning this one, and it's private. So pretty much doing it a bit with some kind of a encapsulation, I think this is called officially. And of course, we also need to add a response whenever we hit the button. Public static void add response, guest response, and adding the responses is going towards here and adding the response. Yeah. Then these responses should be somehow stored. So whenever we go to our X post thing in the home controller, actually, yep, we speak about here, we should add the response. So it would be repository dot add response, guest response. Guest response, we mean the variable, not the type, of course. And we will return view, and the view would say pretty much thanks and guest response. That's pretty much okay. Now it is the interesting part. As you have seen something about the thanks. What this thanks says is that we need a view in the home which is named thanks. And in the meantime, I'm thinking about deleting all this about, contacts. Let's see, index, of course, index goes away as well. MyView is MyView, privacy. And I'll leave the shared ones, although yeah, I'll leave the shared ones. Let's see. In the home ones, we need to add a new view. So add view. And this view would be called thanks. Let's see. What would happen? The last time I copied and pasted, this time I'm adding it this way. I also selected empty everywhere. And I have pretty much stuff here, so it takes a lot of time to edit. It would have been better probably to copy and paste it. Let's see. Yeah. Building a project takes a lot of time. In a way. Well, that's something. Yeah. So let's consider using the model that we were using, model party invites dot models dot guest response. It's our interest. Layout would be no, and let's start typing HTML. Yeah. What would we have? We have a head, definitely, which looks like this. Pretty much. Why is this thing here? Planing HTML is the HTML document. Must include. Okay, okay. We don't have a body. That's why it is complaining. Okay, yeah. Now we have a body. What do we need in the body? We need a paragraph with h1 saying thank you. It model with a big one. Model dot not name but nickname. And now write an if. This is something beautiful. Well, it also works like this. I mean, I was pressing tab twice here and tab there. So if model we attend, we write it is great that you are coming. The drinks are on me. I'm a nice guy, especially when I write stuff. And sorry to hear you are not coming. No free drinks from me then. Yeah. Okay. This is something that I have made as a mistake because I program usually in C# quite a lot. So whenever it's model.viewAttend like this, we should explicitly say it is true, because Razor is obviously not that wise. Why is it not that wise? It is wise, but yeah, it wasn't. And then we need something saying click at the end. Just to say who would be there. Click here to see who is coming. And the here actually it should be like a bit different. ASP action and list responses like this, and put a full stop. Of course, now we need to make something with this here. So how we're gonna do it? We need a URL for the list responses, and we also need something in the controller to say, hey, whenever this is something like a list responses thing, give us only those responses that are actually coming to the party, because the one not coming, we are pretty much not interested in them. Yeah, so going back to the home controller and going public view result REST responses. Returning view repository responses where our response is actually will attend, and it is true. Cool. The where is red. I mean, we don't have the link, but pressing Ctrl and dot will actually edit here. We could have, yeah, this works quite a lot, quite good. And we continue a bit. What we need there is something like list of responses. So I'll simply copy the tanks. I'll call it list responses. Hopefully it would work. No grammar error. Doesn't happen a lot. So party model dot list response would be completely changed, because our model here would be enumerable. Why? Because we have to loop through the list responses in order to display them. Dot guest response. Wow, it works. So it would be here. Title would be responses. And we need something in the body. Pretty much how to write a table is basics. We write something like list of party people, and then we start table, and then we start TID. TID is the top part of the table, and TR is a table row, and then TH is the thing that we needed. Let's see. Just reminding myself what was its model. Okay, our name was yes, model. Let's see how it was. Party invites, models, guest response. Well, I mean, I think the first one was nickname. Yeah. Control C and Control V. Copies and paste exactly like this. Like you just say Control C here, and on the next line Control V, Control V. Would delete work also like this? No. Would Control Z work like this? Yeah. Cool. So nickname. Then we have instead of email, I have written fancy mail. Then animal, favorite animal. And then this was it. I mean, we were 10 as far as they're in this list. There we were 10 the party. So now we need the body of the table. And here is where for each is powerful. For each, okay. Tab, and it works like this. And instead of var, we specify exactly party invites dot models dot guest response. It's gonna be R in our model, which is passed here. So for every thing, for every single response, we write first the nickname, second the fancy mail, Control C, Control V. The third thing was a favorite animal. The body. I should have written this here. Now it looks pretty much okay. And after 39 minutes, I think it's a good thing that we should try to see where are we. Pretty much we should have 3 websites, 3 pages, not websites. First one saying something like hello, thank you for joining the party. Second one gathering the data, and the third one displaying the people in our list. Yeah. Let's see whether ASP would do exactly the same. Yes, we are thinking to do it. It's a bit slow. Yeah, my PC is probably like already 3.5 years old, so yeah, unique would be VitoshAcademy, fancy email VitoshAcademy, Vitosh@academ.y, favorite animal, tiger. Choose an option. Yes, I will attend, of course. Submit RSVP. Thank you, VitoshAcademy. That was my name. It's great that you are coming. The drinks are on me. Click here to see who is coming. Of course, I'll click. looks like something is reversed. Vitosh Academy Tiger should have been number 1 and not number 2, but let's see. Let's Vitosh Academy, some friend, fancy mail, some at end, favorite animal, lion, choose an option, I will attend, here. Whoa, something is really not okay with the list of the party people. But the good thing is that we can take a good look and see, okay, what is it that is not happening? Like, I mean, I saw it publishing them, obviously, but it's publishing them really ugly. And I already think I saw it. Yep. This th should not be th, it should be tr. I guess. Or no, it's td actually. Yeah. It's like this. tr. Yeah. Some stuff like this happen, and it shouldn't be tr, it should be td. I'm impressed by the Visual Studio actually. It's somehow makes it really tough to make errors there. Although I'm trying my best, obviously. Let's see responses, whether it would show up in some table way. Okay, yeah, we have some table way. Nickname, fancy mail, favorite email, Vitosh Academy, VitoshAcademy.y, tiger, some friend, lion. Okay, this makes some kind of sense. I didn't test the no option, but I would test it probably later. So what do we need now is adding validation. Validation means that we would force the people to answer and wouldn't allow them to click on the button for confirm before answering. So we go on guest responses, and on guest responses.cs we write pretty much using system.componentModel.data annotations. Yeah, these are the things that we need. So in the nickname we can write required, and the error message is nickname is required. Yeah. So the fancy mail, it would be required as well. Error message would be fancy mail is required, and we can check it with a regular expression. It's actually a fancy mail. It's really bad to check it this way with this kind of regex, because it's not the correct one for email, I guess, but pretty much it would be okay for, let's say, quite a lot of the cases. My keyboard is somehow not well working, but let's see. And if it is not this one, it will say error message. Error message. Please enter a valid email, a valid fancy email. In general, if you want to see the regular expression for email, it's a bit different, but this one would work for for our case. Yeah, and what I needed here is this one. Yeah. And not closing, of course, the ready parentheses here. So fancy mail is okay. Favorite animal, well, actually we are just gathering data, so yeah. Copying this here, and we write favorite animal. Favorite animal is required. Then with attend we would write required, and then it would be error message. Just copying and pasting is actually easier. Please specify whether you would be there. And a smiley, because smileys are nice. Yep. So that's pretty much okay. So what we need to do now is to implement this kind of data annotations into our controller. So going to the home controllers, to our post, we would say if the model is valid, model state is valid, do this, else do this. So if it is valid, do this, else return view. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Validation summary should be added as well to the RSVP form. What does it mean? It means that the post would only be accepted to go and post if it works. Well, see, pretty much just one line in order to save us probably, I don't know, writing and testing plenty of stuff. And it works pretty much okay. Let's check it again. Pretty much if I don't enter anything, it wouldn't let me continue. That's the idea. So let's see how the idea would work out. Think is that no. I'm kidding, I probably did this thing like 2 times at least in the last week. Not step by step and not speaking to everyone like this. So no nick. Let's see. Wow. Well, let's see. I have some friend. Alright, 3 things. Unique VitoshAcademy. 2 things. Favorite animal. Tiger. Whether you would be there, no, I will not come, so testing this option. Thank you, VitoshAcademy. Sorry to hear you're not coming. Click here to see who is coming. So no one is coming. Oh, no party people. But pretty much okay. Working the way it works is okay. Yeah. What do we need now is to add some kind of a style sheet. So we go to the root, and to make the whole thing a bit fancier, we go to the CSS and we add a style. New item, web content, style sheet, and we'll call it styles.css. So what are we gonna do there? We are going to specify what to do in case of errors and how to declare the CSS. So pretty much validation. Whenever there is a field validation error, field validation valid. input validation error, validation summary errors, and validation summary valid. Whenever this something like this happens, we would have bold weight, something like a red color if is the R in the RGB, or something border which would be also kind of solid, and so on and so on. So we should also refer this CSS to our RSVP form. How do we refer the CSS? We write in the head something like this: link relation style sheet. So we tell the HTML it says there is a style sheet, and we give the location. The location is, this is the root, this is the CSS, and this is the styles. So this is how it follows it. Yep. And we would also add Bootstrap. Question: how to add Bootstrap? Pretty much there are two ways to add Bootstrap. The first one is to get it from somewhere in the internet, and to put it in the root, in the CSS. Bootstrap is the combination of plenty of files. And the second thing I was thinking about is doing this: Control-C, Control-V, and finding it from somewhere in the internet. Pretty much I have found this Slack path, Bootstrap, whatever. So I would simply do it like this. Should work, I guess. Yeah. So this way it would be referring to this website and not to my folder in CSS. That should be okay. And I would simply copy it in every of my views. So list responses. This would have Bootstrap. My views would have Bootstrap. RSVP Form already had, and thanks of course also would have Bootstrap. Yeah. So in my views, let's write it in a way that actually does something with our grading, with our Bootstrap. What does it mean? It means that we should give it some hints, like making some Bootstrap classes, for example, like this, text center. And I'm again impressed by Visual Studio. Visual Studio realizes that we are going to give Bootstrap here in the class, and it actually, yeah, writes for us code. So for example, H3 is we are going to have a party, for example. It's not a good idea to write it like this. Yeah. And Control-C, Control-V, and you are invited. Let's go sphere. And see, just writing the class, putting the equal sign, and then the Bootstrap shows up. And we can see like all the buttons that we need, btn minus primary, it's already pre-filled. ASP action RSVP form. Yeah, works quite okay. And it would be looking out quite okay as well. The guest response is actually a bit more. Not this one, but RSVP form. So there we can actually make it a bit funnier and a bit nicer. How is the question? Well, the answer is, for example, the div has, for example, you can put it in one div, and the class can be class panel success. Then, for example, another having div class panel heading text center, then RSVP, and then the third one would be div class panel body. Okay, we are not close. We are closing the divs. Only the last one is not closed, but I guess it would be. Yeah, I think okay. Okay, so then we have our form. It would be form class equals a 1 strange, it's not in my Bootstrap the prefill, but hopefully it would work. And yeah, div ISP validation summary, oh, it's pretty much okay. Then the next thing is form group. The input could be also into a class form control. Input class form control, and we can put it everywhere. And the last one would be will you attend, would be also of some other class. Let's see. Furthermore, other divs are possible here. Div class form group, and of course finishing the div. Okay, the other form group would be here, finishing the div. The other form group would be here, finishing it. And the last one would be also there. I mean here. Oh, something with my keyboard. And we obviously have forgotten some P. Okay. Would it look like okay? It's a good question. Let's put some class of the button. And we'll put it also in a div. The div would be of class text center button class, class equals in order to yeah, this one is okay. I guess pretty much now is the big question, would it work? Let's see. Some loading, but I guess it would be okay. Mm. The last thing probably that we should have done was pretty much styling the list view. I think would be really okay. And this looks okay. Your nick, VitoshAcademy, fancy email, VitoshAcademy, furry animal tiger. Yes, I will attend. Okay. Okay, let's see again. Some friend, lion. Yes, I will attend. Okay. And the last thing that we should have done was going to list responses and putting some kind of bootstrap there as well. Pretty much in the body. We can say it would be div class equals panel body, and ending the body here. And then something for the table class, so it's a bit more classy. Table, it sounds like doctor. No, I don't want to have this. Table minus table bordered. Yeah, would it work? That's the good question. Would it work without having to wait hours, just pressing refresh? And now the question, wow, list of party people, that's great. At the end, what we can do at the end is like a new button saying register more, which actually sends us to MyView. Would we want to do this? What we should do for this is adding a new view result and then doing it, but I doubt that this is not that needed. However, let's try it. It would be post, HTTP post. It would be public view result, register more friends, and it would be simply return view returning MyView. Or we could actually return the index, because it's pretty much the same. Yeah. Because also we don't have the greeting and we can have an error. Let's press Ctrl K, Ctrl C, comment this, and go from the list of responses and try to return the index. So how are we gonna do it? Best option is simply to, I don't know, take a button and put it in list responses at the end somewhere, let's say, I would say even below the div, a new one, and we'll call it class. No idea what is nav divider, but it sounds nice. And here we click here to invite more friends. ASP action would be index. Press F5 and let's see whether it would work. The nav divider is probably not the correct class for this, but let's see. I'm also interested. and curious. I mean, I didn't try this one. I'll write 3 or 4 things. Okay. Welcome to the invite to interesting party. Fancy mail. Okay. We will attend. See here. And click here to invite more friends. And it works. Yeah. Some friends, some friends. Yes, I will attend. And it works. And it works. And it works. This way we can invite half of the world, and they will be okay. The other half will be probably, I don't know, busy doing something else. Yep. So, thanks for staying with me so long. I hope you learned something. At least I learned something while doing the video. Quite a lot of things. So thanks once again. I will upload the video to GitHub, to YouTube. I will upload the code to GitHub. And thanks for watching. I wouldn't